KTRH News Time is 7:17. Joining us right now is one of my good friends. I haven't talked to him in a while, but it's good to have him on with us here in Houston. Samuel Wurzelbacher, better known to all of America as Joe the Plumber. Joe, welcome to Houston's Morning News, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me, brother. Appreciate it.
It's good to have you back. All right, let's talk a little bit. I want to talk about your experience in 2008 when you were talking with then-candidate Barack Obama. Everyone remembers this exchange. We were talking about the redistribution of wealth. You wanted to expand your plumbing company. You wanted to know what the president had in store. You had this discussion. It became the focus, I believe, for the conservatives, for the Republican Party, as to how they were going to attack Barack Obama. Now, what many people didn't realize afterwards, Joe, and I want you to speak to this, is what happened to you in the state of Ohio. They began to vet you, and they went so far as to check and see if you were making child support payments and a whole lot of other real ugly things, right?
Well, yeah, they had to discredit me for whatever reason, because I had gotten Barack Obama to answer in a poor way, or rather a truthful way, and they proceeded. It wasn't only the state of Ohio, though, but the state of Ohio itself. State police records were gotten into illegally. Child services records were gotten into illegally. You know, my son, actually, I had custody of my son at this point in time. Everything was squared away. So instead of the focus of the question and what Barack Obama wanted to do as far as leading the American people, all of a sudden I became the focus, and you know, that's just not the way it works here in America. And then as far as the media goes, you know, they got that all over the place. You know, no one talked about my record in the United States Air Force as a plumber. You know, they wanted to say, well, he's not a union plumber, therefore he's not a plumber.
Right.
No one talked about me being a veteran and plumbing all over the world, literally, for the United States Air Force. No one said anything about, you know, he has custody of his son, which every man out there in the world knows it's damn near impossible to get custody of your boy being a guy. It's not an easy thing.
Now, Joe, and I see a lot of similarities with Herman Cain. I mean, here is a guy that presents a real threat, whether it's to the Republican Party or it is to the elite right now, Democrats, and I believe they're doing the same kinds of things to Herman Cain. Would you agree with that?
Well, absolutely. Herman Cain is a threat to status quo. You know, ultimately, I lump the parties in together, just to the fact it doesn't seem like the constituents are getting represented. It seems more like special interests and lobbyists are being represented. You know, they don't really truly want to fix the tax code. They want to put Band-Aids on it. So Herman Cain brings a change to that, because, you know, he's representing the American people. You know, he's back to character versus personality,
right,
which I talk a great deal about. Too often we vote based on personality as opposed to character of the person.
We're talking to Joe the Plumber. Joe, hang on for me real quick, because I want to talk about what you're doing. You're running for Congress, and your perception of what's taking place in Washington today since 2008.
Back to Matt Patrick.
KTRH News Time is 7:23, and we're talking to Samuel Wurzelbacher. You know him better as Joe the Plumber. Good guy. And Joe, welcome back to Houston's Morning News. People in Houston, Joe, we want to know, what brought you from 2008 being simply Joe the Plumber, a guy asking a question, to then candidate Barack Obama, to now running for Congress in the state of Ohio? And not only are you running for Congress, but you're running against a woman, Marcy Kaptur. You're running for her seat. She's been in Congress longer than anybody, right? I mean, she's got a very long tenure there.
Yes, she does. But actually, not only that, but they did the redistricting in Ohio, and they put two big Democrats against each other, Marcy Kaptur and Dennis Kucinich.
All right. Yeah, we all know Kucinich here in Houston.
So I might be running against one or the other, you know, as they have their primary. But ultimately, I chose to run because I've been running around the country the last 3 years, you know, speaking at different events, meeting some great people. And unfortunately, because of the system that we have, a lot of great people that I would want representing us, unfortunately, don't have a chance to a degree because of the system that we have. They don't have any name recognition. They can't raise the money. You know, they have to run as a Republican or as a Democrat, which doesn't really encompass who they are. And so, you know, they get hamstrung right away. I have the name recognition. I can raise some money. And I got no real desire to have congressmen in front of my name, but I do have a desire to see America be great and go back to doing right, you know, right as opposed to wrong. You know, not being politically castrated, you know, building America and not other countries. I'm not big on globalization. You know, I want jobs back here in America. I want a simple tax structure. I want simple regulations. I mean, there's things that we got to work towards, and unfortunately, a lot of your congressmen that get up there, they drink that Washington D.C. Kool-Aid.
Right.
I know for a fact I won't.
All right. Well, listen, and I know you, and I'm hoping that even if somebody slips you a Mickey, that you will spit it out as soon as you taste it. Hey, listen, Joe, I want to thank you for the time. I wish you luck. We'll touch base with you again going forward here. We are 1 year away from November of 2012 as of today, and I look forward to talking with you again. Good luck, my friend.
Hey, I appreciate it, Matt. Just have your audience go to joeforcongress2012.com.
Very good. Thank you. All right. Joe the Plumber is now running for Congress. We'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on him.